Welcome to our mastermind. We are going to get started here in just a second. We'll let the two cellos close us out with a little Seven Nation Army. We were just talking about those great tunes that you can get away with because they're instrumental, that maybe you couldn't get away with if the lyrics were being broadcast. All right. Well, I am so excited that you guys are here for our first mastermind of the year. And we are going to jump right in. We've got a full day of hour of work together to do. So before we jump too far into it, let's just ground ourselves in the work. So our agreements while we're here is just first housekeeping. We want to hear from you. Your voice needs to be heard because you are the ones living this right now. But if you're not talking, we do want you to have your mic muted to avoid any hot mic moments, and use the chat for any questions that you may have. We know you have so many things on your plate, and we're so grateful that you were able to take some time out to join us for the mastermind today. We just ask that you stay mindful while we're here and present in the moment, but we do know that things come up and they happen, which is why our final agreement is be kind. We have grace and kindness for you. We understand that you may have technical difficulties, stuff popping up in schools. And we just ask that you extend that same grace to your colleagues, to us, and most importantly, to yourself. So we'll get this party started. Hi, I'm Erin. I am an instructional technology trainer here at VILS. I'm coming to you live now from the state of Texas. So I've moved and am now in Texas. Yeehaws and y'alls, and I am joined today from a little further south, Todd DeSanto.
Hi, everybody. I'm Todd DeSanto. I'm also one of the instructional technology trainers with VILS. Very excited to welcome you all here today.
So Todd's going to be in the background, throwing in some links in the chat, making sure everything runs smoothly. And if we play our cards right, we will get to see some of his amazing acting skills later on in the session. So definitely don't want to miss his acting debut with VILS. We want to start off by hearing from you guys. So we know time is precious, but what is one thing that you would add to your daily routine if you had one extra hour? Use the chat if you're feeling especially brave. Go ahead and come off of mute, but we want to hear from you.
I'll go ahead and go. Sleep. Yeah, I was about to say it. Sleep is what I would do.
Thanks, Brittany. I think we could all just, pitch in for some nap pods and like a way to make time stop, and we'd all be so happy. A lot of rest and meditation and yoga. Okay, running, stretching. I always love it when I stretch, but I never actually take the time to be intentional about it. So I would agree with that. What about you, Todd? What would you add?
I would kind of go like with Zach's answer. I like that, running a daily marathon in an hour. But yeah, my last name is not Kipchoge, so there's no chance of that happening.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I guess if it had to be a physical activity, I'd go to the lake and paddleboard. Like if I could fit that in every day. I'm always loving the times that I get to go to the lake. Cook. Okay. Yeah. Uber Eats is your bestest friend, but cooking, I do love me some cooking. I don't know. I think I could just fill an hour that I had. I'm sure we all could. I love. Thank you guys for engaging with this quick little question. Oh, Ashley, I am so sad for you. Is it because it's polluted and gross, or?
No, it's actually a really pretty lake. It's blue. They put dye in it, but it's like animal safe, people safe, dye, but they allow us to like catch and release fish, but that's it. Like you can't do anything else in it. And I don't know why. I just moved there, so I don't know why they don't allow us in the lake, but I would love to paddleboard. I have 2 of them and I would love to do that. It would be very convenient, but it's not an option.
Yes. So. Oh, well, maybe you could get on the board or know somebody who gets on the board and get that changed. Because
Right?
yes, right there, it's available. We should use it. Oh, that's so sad. I hope we'll get on another call later this year and you'll be like, Erin, I got it. I'm on the lake now. Celebrate so much with you. Todd just threw in the chat the link if you would like to follow along with our deck or just use it as a reference. It is there. So let's kind of transition a little bit. So we started off really being open with silly things, like what would we do with an hour? But I want to know what's your level of comfort in sharing maybe it's stuff that's a little more real with your peer group. Can you throw in the chat where you might fall on this scale from 1 being the least comfortable to 5 being the most comfortable sharing what's really going on? I love we've got some people all in. They are feeling pretty comfortable in that 4-5 range. So at the end of our time today, we're going to spend time sharing our struggles, sharing, maybe some potential solutions in small groups. And we hope that you'll be able to walk away with some strategies or maybe some solutions to whatever your situation might be. Actually, I love the honesty there. Depends on who it is. I agree with you. Sometimes, you've got that filter in place with who you have to. But it looks like all in all, we're feeling it. Zach's a -2. So if you're in a breakout room with Zach, maybe kind of tease some out of him. But Zach, I hope you can step out of your comfort zone and share with maybe what is happening. Yvette, right down that middle. Really nice. Yeah, in that 4 to 5 range. Really, really great. So we've established we all want more time. We really want Ashley to get paddleboarding on her lake. I think we as a community want to lean in on that, feeling pretty good about talking about the real situations in peer groups. And so let's dig into why we're even here. So the purpose is to solve some problems. Like we are only as smart as the smartest group. And right now, y'all are an incredibly smart group of educators and individuals. And it sometimes just takes an outside perspective to see a solution that's right in front of us. So in this webinar, we're going to go through an in-depth brainstorming process that hopefully leaves you with some really actionable steps to resolve a problem that you're facing. So we're going to brainstorm together using a protocol called a mastermind. So the mastermind, it's a peer group and you help solve problems. And regularly, you meet consistently. We will have monthly mastermind meetings where we may look at different problems. You may engage with different people, but the outcome is still the same. We want to work collaboratively to address any situation you may be having. This concept of mastermind was coined way back in 1925 by Napoleon Hill in a book he wrote called The Law of Success, and then described in a lot more detail in his 1937 book, Think and Grow Rich. So it's kind of a timeless concept, but we see that it works whether you meet face to face, back in the 1930s or using Zoom in 2022. Let's take a quick look at the power of a mastermind group. If you are brand new this year to our VILS program and these calls, this will help frame our activity. And if you've come to these in the past, it's a good refresher on where we're going.
A mastermind group is a self-initiated democratic community with members who share similar goals and interests. Members meet together in small groups of 3 to 6 people to provide accountability, structure, and feedback. And often they share their strategies and ideas. Mastermind groups are used in the arts, in academic communities, in entrepreneurial circles, and in the nonprofit world. Now, when you meet together with a mastermind group, you will often share your journey and learn from others around you. Together, you will also share your ideas, prototypes, or work and give one another valuable feedback. You will share your challenges and frustrations, and it's a chance to be vulnerable. As a member of the community, you will listen and provide empathy when others struggle. But you might also help others problem solve and find solutions. Members will share success stories and celebrate those successes together. Mastermind groups can meet in person, but they can also be online through video chats. Often, a mastermind group will use a hot seat format. One person will be the facilitator who guides the process. Another person will be the timekeeper who keeps everyone on schedule. And you might also have a scribe who helps keep track of goals and progress. In the first phase of the hot seat, the facilitator welcomes each person and reviews the shared norms that you've agreed upon together. In the second phase, each shares a brief update on the progress. The following stems can be helpful. Right now I'm feeling blank about blank. My win for the past week was blank. Regarding my commitment from last week, I blank. One challenge I'm dealing with is blank. My goal was blank and my progress has been blank. The third phase is the actual hot seat. The timekeeper sets the time to ensure that each person gets the same amount of time, and this could be as short as 10 minutes per person or as long as an hour. Then, rotating clockwise, each member shares what they're thinking and feeling about their projects, along with any new ideas they have, any struggles or challenges they've faced, and other members get the opportunity to listen and provide feedback whenever they are asked. When the alarm goes off, it's the next person's turn. The fourth and final phase is the closing round. Here, the facilitator asks each person to reflect using the statements, "My takeaway from this meeting is blank. This next week I will commit to blank." The scribe will then often write down those commitments. So that's how a mastermind group works. In the end, a mastermind group is whatever you make of it. If you can't find a mastermind group, you can always create one and see where it goes.
Okay, so no, we're not going to watch you again. That's a mastermind. Just a great think tank for where we are, where we're going. So let's break it down a little bit. When we go into breakout rooms, y'all will need to kind of group yourselves. You can do it organically, rock, paper, scissors for it, however it works for you and the people in your room. But somebody will need to be the facilitator timekeeper just to make sure everyone has an equitable chance to engage. Maybe you want somebody to be a note taker. Maybe you all want to be note takers. And then we'll have the hot seat. So the hot seat person will rotate and you'll share a challenge or a question that you're kind of struggling with, or maybe it just came to you and you would love other insights into maybe how it's done across the country. I have a feeling we are spread pretty wild. Let's take just a hot second and throw in the chat what state you're coming in from right now. Let's just do a coast to coast check. See if we have all the time zones represented. We got Georgia, Wisconsin, Houston, Maryland, Kentucky. Nice. Oh, all the way up in Oregon. Love, love, love. Well, we are all over. So you guys are coming in from all over the country, and yet I have a feeling more than one of you probably has the same struggle or challenge that you're facing, because school and humans are the same no matter where we go. Let's do a quick pulse on how we're doing. Know in the chat by let me know where you are right now. Either one, you are unclear about the purpose of masterminds, put that one in the chat. If you understand the importance, throw a 2 in, and you are hitting the bullseye. You could talk about masterminds and you know the importance of using masterminds to solve problems. Good, I'm solid with those 2s. There is a lot of value in that. Love it. I am a happy in a 2, no 1s. So let's get to what it really looks like. I promised you to see some of Todd's amazing acting abilities. We are going to take the next few minutes to kind of role play what it could look like in your mastermind breakout room. So for this mastermind role play experience, we are going to obviously shorten it down. You're not going to witness the whole thing, and there will be only two of us, Todd and I, in the activity. Todd today is going to be playing the role of administrator of a school. I'm not sure where it is. He may let us know. And I will be playing the role of facilitator and people in the breakout room. Todd, are you ready for your debut?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, let's get this going.
All right, so I am a principal in Pennsylvania, and one challenge that I'm dealing with right now is teachers taking leave on Fridays, and it's really starting to impact the students since we have a sub shortage, and students are starting to miss out on valuable learning when we don't have a certified teacher to be able to follow the lesson plans.
I think we can all relate to that. What have you tried so far this year, Todd?
So one of the things that we tried to do was to provide lunch to our teachers on certain Fridays, and letting the teachers know in advance. You know, we did like pizza one week, subs another week, tacos another week, and it went over well, but it's getting expensive to continue that, and I'm not sure that it's actually making that much of a difference in our teachers' absences.
Does your district have policies like buying out leave days or carrying them over to the next year?
No, but that's definitely something that I can bring up in our next admin meeting with the superintendent. It's budget season, so I'm not quite sure how that's going to fly, but it's an idea worth considering.
Yeah, when we did that in my district back in Hoboken, we did both the carrying over and the buying back leave. It really made a difference for folks who needed to take the leave. They were more than welcome. There was no downside. However, for those that just needed a break, they could use their leave, or they could sell it at the end of the year or carry it over. And we found in that budget thing that we didn't lose money with what we would pay the subs and what we would sell the leave back to teachers for. So that was a win-win for us.
Did either of those options seem to improve teacher morale?
You know, it really did. We found that once leave became just leave, teachers would get together inside of their departments and really make sure that there weren't a whole lot of absences from that content level gone on the same day, because we took the stigma away from it and we were able to keep the lessons going and provide support for the students.
Okay, so that's it's a pretty easy first step to start with. So opening the conversation with my department heads to make sure that they're planning out leave. Obviously, if you're sick, you're sick. There's no planning for that. But we could sort of plan around mental health days as well.
Yeah, that sounds like your next first step, talking with the department heads. You had also mentioned bringing up solutions with your superintendent. When is that meeting?
So that meeting is next Tuesday, and I've already gone ahead to email to get time on the agenda. So thanks for your suggestions.
And scene. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The amazing Todd DeSanto. Well done, sir. Well done. Your VILS debut here. Just a quick thank you for that. Just a quick glance of, you may not have solutions, but you're going to be in a room with people who faced whatever it is you're facing, and some of them may have been successful. So it's so important that you're ready to share and know that you're in a safe, judgment-free place. to help you along your way, we do have these guidelines. So that link is going in the chat, but it helps you really frame the conversation. So somebody in the hot seat will start with maybe a sentence stem, and then you have some sentence stems or some kind of guideposts that you can ask as feedback givers or just colleagues in the room, and you repeat that process. We'll be in breakout rooms for about 30 minutes. So hopefully you will have a good chunk of time to dig in deep on one or touch multiple issues at a less deep level, but we want to make sure that you have that time to collaborate. So here we go. You're going to talk about in your breakout room that current problem or that goal at your campus. You're going to have 3 or 4 of you in a room together, and about 7 to 10 minutes per person to speak, to engage in that back and forth. And when we come back, we want to hear from you. We want to hear any ideas that you developed within your group or solutions that you heard that you're ready to try. And I'll tell you the same thing I tell my teachers when we're in learning experiences. If you're in a breakout room and people are not engaging, come back to the main space and we'll get you in a breakout room where folks are active. We value your time and your engagement, and we are ready to roll with this. So any questions before we jump into our breakout rooms? Christina's got a question in the chat. I'm gonna say, Christina, this is your school year. Because VILS, while we love it, it's so important and it shapes all we do, it is just one piece of the puzzle to all of school. So if you have a challenge about VILS, bring it. If you've got a challenge about just your school in general, bring that. All right, we ready to go, Todd? All right, guys, we'll see you back in about 30 minutes to hear how it goes. Welcome back. I hope you have had some really productive conversations in your breakout rooms. And my favorite thing to hear is it wasn't enough time. So my fingers are crossed that you guys were so engaged. Time just flew by and you could have used more of it. So much better than we sat in silence and looked at our screens. We would love to take a couple of minutes to hear from you guys about any ideas or solutions or your experience in your mastermind breakout room. You can come off of mute, use the chat. We are here for you.
I'll share from my group, and it'll be really quick. I think both me and my other counterpart, we're just having a challenge with time. There's just not enough time. There's not enough time for us to do what we need to do. There's not enough time for our principals to do what they need to do. There's not enough time for our teachers to do what they need to do. So we didn't really come up with a solution, but we did kind of share some ways that we're trying to help. We have different situations, but there's just not enough time to get it all done. So
you're right.
It was good to know that I wasn't alone.
You know, at the end, like when you come up with those problems, I know in education, at work, or even as a parent, like it's just really nice to know somebody else is dealing with the same thing and it's not you. So you're doing everything right. It's just time eludes us. Thank you, Christina. I have 6.5 million imaginary gold stars for you for coming off of mute. So, you know, display them with pride. They are all yours. Would love to maybe hear from 1 or 2 more folks about their experience before we start our wrap up.
I'll share. So in our group, we kind of talked about best practices for Chromebook usage, like when they should use it and when they shouldn't. So that, you know, sometimes they get on and they get distracted and they're on other programs or trying to play games. And so we were saying, making sure like the lessons are tight, where there's a time for actual Chromebook usage in the classroom. So when the teacher is when they are instructing and working in whole group, if it's not a time to use the Chromebooks, have them put away. Even indicating in your lesson plans, like at what point of the lesson you're going to have the kids engage in some of the online digital platforms. so that we can make sure that they're learning, but then also that they're getting the technology use in as well. But if you don't monitor that, they will go off. So we just kind of shared some things of ways to keep them focused when they are using a Chromebook and when they shouldn't have them out at all.
Tony, do you feel like you have a couple of new things to try? Are you glad that you participated in that conversation today?
Yes, it was nice to hear from other people. We talked to, one person was from Brooklyn, somebody else was from Atlanta, and two of us are from Houston. And so it was just kind of good to hear everybody share out about the Chromebook usage and how to manage, when and when they aren't using it.
I really appreciate you sharing that. If anybody else wants to jump off mute and share their experience, we'd love to hear from you.
I'll share. I'm Ebony from Birmingham City Schools. Hi, in my group, we kind of talked through a couple issues. I can highlight maybe two of them. One was students breaking devices, proper care of the devices. And we kind of troubleshot how we could alleviate some of that. And some of it is just about making sure it's seen as a tool and not a toy. Being consistent with assignments, being consistent with, in our school district, we have students come in. First thing you do is you log in. Absolutely. To keep that constant engagement with their devices. This is a part of what it takes for you to be successful. And so it is your tool and not your toy. And then we also talked about kids not bringing devices. Just, I don't have it, which is fun times. And trying to see how can we engage students to remember. And what we shared in the group was a couple options were to, one, make sure, like there was a question about chargers not coming to the school, not having chargers, is creating a charging station at home and having a spot where devices are plugged in, they're kept there. That way it's easy to know where it goes when you come home. It's easy to know where it is when you wake up. And then also having charging options in the classroom, either charging carts or charging stations or just additional chargers in the classroom to help students who did possibly forget to charge, or if there was an issue at home not being able to charge. And then maybe having some type of activity to help them remember to bring their device. Maybe there's a morning check-in and everyone who emails their teacher the weather gets some type of incentive. And it could just be as simple as, hey, if you send me the weather before this time, you get this incentive. And it just, by waking up and engaging with it and knowing that there's a reward on the other end, it's a normal part of your life. And so you start using it more readily, and then maybe it'll help you remember to actually get it to school.
I mean, I love that idea about sending out the weather report. That is clever. I'm gonna have to put that in my back pocket. Thank you so much for sharing. So you guys have engaged in this mastermind, maybe some of you for the first time, maybe some came last year during masterminds, and you're wanting to learn more. You're like, yes, I'm all in. This protocol is fantastic. I love it so much. Well, we have a course on the power of masterminds inside the VILS Academy that you can access at your time, at your pace, and it is always available to you. So that exists. One thing I really want to point out before we totally wrap up is this event is happening November the 8th at 11 a.m. Pacific. So makes our time zones. So 11 Pacific, 12 Mountain, 1 Central, 2 Eastern is when this, it starts.
No, it's Eastern. It's 11 Eastern.
I was like, that's really late. Here I was so proud of myself for doing time zone math in my head, and it's all wrong. So 11 Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 Pacific is when this will begin, just doing it backwards. But what's so incredible is this is a opportunity presented by Digital Promise and also Verizon Innovative Learning. It is open to the entire universe, so spread the word. And we have keynote speakers, Dr. Tony Wagner and Kenneth Shelton. They are both incredible. Lean in when you hear from them. I've had the opportunity to work with Ken Shelton, and he is dynamic. But we also have some opportunities to learn from EdTech experts like Dr. Monica Burns, Dr. Caitlin Tucker, Matt Miller. You may have heard of him, and the, oh, now I can't think of what his Ditch That Textbook, that whole book thing. We're going to have him come and speak, and even more about different strategies, activities, and research-based practices that are going to leverage your educational technology. And it's totally, totally, totally free. Use that link. You can grab it off the screen with the QR code. We've got it in the chat. Todd has put it in.
It would be the last one. The most recent one is the correct one. It took the stars, the notation stars, into the URL. So it's that last one that is the correct one.
Got it. All right. So make sure you click on that, grab the QR code. This will be through the VILS HQ platform, and you'll be able to register for sessions. And once you register, you'll get a detailed email telling you all your next steps. We're going to hype this up a little more next month, but get in on it. It is open now. Just like previously, we want to make sure we bring to your attention that you can have Verizon employee support at your event, at your school. There is a form to fill it out. Filling out the form does not guarantee that someone will show up, but the earlier you fill out the form, the better your chances are that you can have a Verizon employee come and support whatever is happening at your school, your STEM days, career days. Just want them on site. There we go. Todd's got that in the chat for us, and also in the VILS HQ, these amazing resources, totally free. Browse along. The VILS HQ has some really great augmented reality AR resources that you can engage with and share with your teachers and implement in your schools. And that's it. We are on the nose, ladies and gentlemen. I could not thank you more for your engagement, your leaning in, being present in the moment, and your willingness to get real in your breakout rooms and share what's happening. I thank you from the deepest part of my heart for spending the last hour with us. We're going to throw your attendance and feedback survey into the chat. Today's date is on there. You should be able to fill that out and carpe your diem. Have a really, 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 really great rest of your day. Christina, go for it. I want to hear your question.
Is the event November 8th or December 8th?
November 8th, Election Day.
Okay, because I got an email inviting me to something for December 8th. I don't know if that's something different.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, okay.
So yes, so one more slide. December 8th is a VILS virtual conference. It's going to be hot, but only people involved in VILS can attend it.
Okay,
this November 8th is open to the world. It's going to be huge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for asking that clarifying question.
No problem.